Hereditary is written and directed by Ari Aster. And it's about a family who is grieving after the loss of his wife, after his wife's mother, and experiences haunting events in their lives. Now, I'm not the biggest horror fanatic. Usually, I'm very picky when it comes to horror movies, mostly because, you know, when I'm watching a horror movie, I want it to be scary. I want it to be terrifying, and I like jump scares from time to time. But when I'm watching a horror movie and I'm laughing the entire time, I'm already telling you that this movie is trash. I'm not saying that movies can't have funny moments in it, but lately horror movies have not been scaring me. They've been cracking me up. And it's time to really get to the shits of it. Okay, we need some real movies. There actually have been some movies that legit have scared me, and those movies I do revisit, every so often, just because that experience of me feeling that and then appreciating what's in those movies to make me feel those things. It's just those are the right ways to make a horror movie. And a lot of times when you don't have, when people are not doing that a lot with a lot of horror movies, it just kind of checks you out. So I kind of lose interest when a horror movie is being marketed around a lot of times. Now I'm gonna try to stay away from spoilers for this movie because the gist of it, all of the meat, all of the real gist of the film happens when a certain event happens. And I really can't say what it is. I don't want to spoil it for you guys. But the people who've seen it already, great for you. You guys know what I'm talking about. But other than that, I'm trying to stay away from that. I'm just gonna show you how I feel about it. So I watched the film with my wife recently, and a little bit about her. She's not easily scared either. And when we watched this movie, she was like kind of contorting a little bit, kind of flinching and really like holding my hand and stuff like that. But when she was acting like that, I knew that she was enjoying this, which is like a plus for me because she thinks that I have bad taste in movies, right? So, I can tell that she was enjoying this and I was enjoying this too. Like the story is actually really, really compelling. And there are some scary moments in here that kind of keep you and grab you and have you feeling a little bit uncomfortable and disturbed in some cases. So we're watching this film, enjoying it, mind you. And when the ending comes, now as for me, I did enjoy a good chunk of this movie. I really did. But I can understand why people felt robbed of that experience. Because that ending, man, I'm not going to spoil it, I promise you, but just, why? Okay, so look, here's the thing. Let me just tell you what I liked about the movie. Okay. The story itself is excellent. It's very relatable and it's very dark and it's very grim. And I get a kick out of that kind of stuff. I love, I love somber, depressing type theme movies and stuff like that. I do like that kind of stuff. But it's filled with a lot of personal exposition about the family and particularly Andy's character when she starts talking about, what she's gone through with her family and her mom and her brother and stuff like that. And she's played by Toni Collette, by the way. Let me just say, that woman, talk about me being robbed. She was robbed of that lead actor Oscar because she killed it in this movie, guys. She bodied that role. Okay, watching her made me tear up, a couple times. And I'm not a crier. Sometimes I feel a little sentimental at times. Other than that, I don't really cry like that. And having her really, just show her feelings and emotions and just see how vulnerable she goes to express what's going on with her, you really do feel for her, man, because everybody knows somebody that's dealing with something that she's dealing with. And it just reminds me of a lot of my friends who go through that kind of stuff. And it's just so impressive to see someone of her stature really, really bring it home. And I was really appreciating her performance, man. She killed that, man. Y'all should have gave her an Oscar for that. Y'all tripping. And the way it's directed too, when they kind of slow zoom in on the very exposition-y scenes, because all of the exposition-y scenes get really, really emotional. And I'm glad that they know this enough to kind of just hone in on their face. So you can see their expressions and really feel what they're going through. It's one of the tricks that you see in film a lot, and I get that sometimes when I'm an actor. Like when I'm in a shot, they really want to hone in on my emotions and stuff, and really see, really show what I'm bringing into the scene. And a lot of films don't do that, and I'm glad, especially in a horror movie, and I'm glad that they really put that in here so you can really see that, because I'm starting to care about these characters. And one of the key things that you want to realize, or that you want to notice, is that if you don't care about these characters, you're not going to be scared, because you're supposed to be following the hero of the movie. And if the hero is somebody you don't really give a fuck about, you're not going to get scared when something's happening to her. You're not going to be like, oh, that happened. Or even when she dies, you're not going to even care. Not saying she dies, I'm just saying. In any movie, you want to care about your characters. And this movie did a good job, a damn good job, of making you care for her and her family. The kids, too. I don't know where they found these kids, especially the little girl, played by Billy Shapiro. I don't know where they found her, but that face gave me the fucking creeps. She did a damn good job. I mean, but whoever the makeup department was, who gave her like kind of like that contorted look and face and stuff like that, because if you see how she actually looks like that, she's actually a very gorgeous woman, or gorgeous girl. I don't know how old she is. Whatever look they were going for her character left me very, very just uncomfortable. And she's already an awkward girl, so kind of seeing her, just be by herself and kind of be this socially awkward person, and kind of draw by herself and kind of see all these things, and she kind of has this thing going on and stuff like that. You really start to feel for her. Other than that, this movie is at the merit of this family's talents. It's really focused in on this family having a lot of problems within themselves, and you really want to find actors who can do the job and do it well. Because if it's just at the mercy at these actors and having them carry pretty much this entire movie, that's a challenging job. And I'm really glad that the job was done and they gave us this movie, because I was definitely enjoying it. Now, another reason why this film sets itself apart from other horror films is that most of the intense moments that happen is within the family drama, because the story is just, it's really that good. So you want to keep watching. And this family goes through shit where there's conflict between them. And Ari Aster chooses to kind of shoot certain wide shots to kind of show their isolation, or kind of just show certain tense moments between either the mother or the son, or the mother and the husband. You know what I mean? The mother and the daughter. There's a lot of moments in there that are just shot in a certain way where Astor definitely wanted the audience to kind of feel this family's pain. And I found myself just really enjoying this film. I mean, I didn't get scared all that much, but I was enjoying watching this movie because this family was just going through so much, and I wanted to know more about what was going to go on with them. And then when the scary stuff did happen, I definitely was scared. Speaking of the scary stuff, the jump cuts that come in there, I'm glad that they're not, it wasn't like just a bunch of false scares in there, and the music really does a good job at building up to those moments. But the score really knew what it was doing when it came to those jump scares. It really did kind of like try to be careful and not just overhyping the scares a little bit. If it was going to be a false scare, let it be a false scare. But it didn't overhype it so much to where it's like, oh, it's just a fucking hand on somebody's shoulder. You know what I mean? I hate that kind of shit. Now this, like I said, guys, this is where it kind of gets into the whole bit of why I felt a little robbed of the experience. The ending, admittedly, is a bit of a mix for me. Now I don't want to spoil what happens in there, but the way the story is being told, it's literally 2 hours of really good exposition, really good story development, character development. Learning about the struggle within this family, seeing what they're going through, and hoping that they get what they want. In the end of this. And then the last 20 minutes of it or so, it just confuses you. You have no idea what you just watched. I can't say too much more because it's a spoiler, but I don't like feeling that sense of disappointment when I'm enjoying a movie like this, especially a movie like this. Like, it's a horror movie. I'm like, okay, it's different, it's interesting, it's original, and then the end that happens, I'm just like, what? What? I just don't like being confused. I just don't like being confused because you're watching a family drama and then it just shifts into some kind of um, I don't know. I guess it got a little too supernatural. It just became a little too over the top for me, and I don't know. I guess I just didn't want it that way because it starts itself off as this very realistic, very, very grounded movie about, some family problems and stuff. And it seeps you in, to that drama where you want to know what else is going to happen. And then it gets into this whole other shit. And I'm just like, what is going on? And I don't like being confused, guys. Like the ending for me is supposed to be something that brings everything home. If that ending is something that's a little bit controversial or a little bit confusing, or I don't really understand, like I'm not saying I'm not open to open-ended endings, but if an ending is so confusing and so robbing of an experience where it kind of feels a little bit far left, like it just came out of nowhere, that's going to affect my lasting impression of the movie. And that ending kind of did it for me. Look, and I'm pretty sure that movie is something where you're going to have to watch again. Like, I'm pretty sure that they want people to go back and kind of see things they missed and really experience that ending again. But, all I felt was just disappointment. You know what I mean? It wasn't something where I have to watch it again or I have all these questions. It was like, no, it's that ending was so not for me that I just felt so disappointed to even watch it again. I think it's worth a first watch, but for me personally, I don't know if I want to watch the whole movie again because that ending just kind of sucked. But the movie was fantastic other than that, but I did feel the ending is what really, kind of brought it down, a bunch of notches for me, because my wife was enjoying it. I was enjoying it. And then when it gets to the third act and to the climax and stuff like that, when it's about to end, we're just kind of like, oh, what'd you think about it? It was all right. Yeah, it was all right. And I didn't want it to be all right. I wanted it to be awesome. I hear a lot of stuff about this movie being so fantastic. Like, this movie was incredible. It should have got Best Picture. This is like the best horror film I've ever seen. And I'm like, okay, let me watch this thing. And when I finally watch it, it's not the best horror movie I've ever seen, but it's damn good up until the last 20 minutes. I have to be honest with you guys, like I just, that ending kind of messed up everything for me. And because of that, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. Like it's an average film. It's an average movie. I like the story that they tried to tell. It's just, it went too deep into this other kind of theme that I didn't really understand and wasn't really trying to see in this movie. And I know that they were leading to something like that, but I just felt like they could have did something different. I don't want to spoil it for you guys, but I just wish they did something different where we got some kind of resolution, some kind of, payoff, not a, I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but not an ending where you're just left with a bunch of questions, but questions that you don't really care about answering. It's just more like, why would you do that? Why is this like this? Why is that like that? Huh? Like, no, I couldn't. So that's the review of Hereditary. Let me know what you guys think about the movie. I know a lot of people said that they liked it, but you guys tell me what you guys think about it. Let me know in the comments, if you really appreciated the movie, if you felt the same way I did about the ending. If you left confused, if you left kind of just, wanting something more. We're gonna have some movies coming very soon. Make sure you check in for that, and you guys take care and be safe.